Hello and welcome, fellow Indies. I'm Patrick Poe, and this is Indies on Indie. We continue our series of interviews about America's Front Porch today. We hear from Roy Nugen, husband of Gina Nugen, who was on our last episode. Obviously, he's more than just husband of Gina Nugen, but I just thought I should introduce him that way because I feel like it's always the other way around. Like, this is so-and-so, Steve's wife. I bet some people talk about me, though, like as Lolo's husband. At least I hope that's how it is. Like, oh yeah, that guy, Lolo's husband, he's almost as talented as her. At least that's how I hope it's done. All right, besides just being Gina's husband, though, Roy is also the writer of all of America's Front Porch's videos. And as you should know, if you listened to the last podcast, I'm definitely a fan of their work. You can hear all about how much I love them and how I met them in the intro for last podcast. So I guess I'll just cut this intro short and get on to the show. So here it is, me and Roy Nugen. I think you invented those people just now in your head.
And if I did, that's fantastic, because, I'm the writer, so.
You are the writer, aren't you?
Yeah.
Like of
America's Front Porch.
Of America's Front Porch. Are you the only one that's written for America's Front Porch?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, everybody else has to say, and we talk about stuff, and
So everyone else shits on your ideas and forces you to rewrite it.
we can't shoot that day of. Well, we can't shoot that. Fucking rewrite the whole thing. Who cares?
Just fix it, Roy.
It's
God.
Words. Strings of words.
Yeah. Like, who cares about the words?
Yeah.
The words don't matter.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm the only... Gina's the first reader usually, although I haven't got her to read it. I had her read 2 scripts this week just because she hasn't read them in, 6 months or something. She's not in the room, so I can say this. But, she's better at plot structure and stuff like that. And then Nate comes in and be like, oh, well, we can't actually pull that off.
None of that makes sense.
Yeah, none of that'll work. So
yeah.
We all have an input.
He tells you what's realistic to shoot.
Yeah, and that's
nice and mean of him.
Yeah, that way it's like I never put a limitation on myself when I write.
Yeah.
So we can
let Nate put limitations on you.
Exactly.
Perfect.
So and we can get it just as high as we can get, and I wanted it to be higher, but
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm the only writer basically.
Have you always done the writing?
Mm-hmm. I've written my whole life. Middle school on, pretty much.
Oh wow.
Almost every day, write something.
Oh, do you really write every day?
Yeah. Last year I wrote my first, it's not a full novel, it's a novella. And
what's the difference? I'm not smart enough to know.
Word count.
Oh, is it?
17,000 words versus 30, I think, is a novel.
Okay.
And I'm in the middle of the next one, and it's going to be a novel because I'm halfway through and there's 1 billion words, and I've been working on it for actually only like 2 or 3 weeks. I write really fast, but
if you write every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I wrote like this week, it's at work. I write in the kitchen where I manage this restaurant, and when we're not busy, I write. So, this week I've been writing the novel, getting 2,000, 3,000 words a day. And earlier this week, I decided I've never written a play. So I wrote this 10-minute play, and it's like 6 hours.
That's a good way to do it, though. Like, I've never done this. Let's see if I can do it.
Yeah, I was like, I've never written a play. It seems interesting. And so I had to look up, what is a short play called? So 10-minute play. Oh, 10 pages. I can do that.
They do a lot of 10-minute plays.
Yeah, so I did that. It's called Pigweed. So
obviously.
And set it about a returning veteran from World War II. It's like on a porch and in a house. It's weird. It's
got a couple locations then?
Yeah, well, they run congruently to the play because it's like the guy has killed this guy that's inside the house, and most of the play takes place in the front porch, which is like the other side of the stage. So you see this dead guy the whole time, and which is the consequences of what's happening on this side. So
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So do you have a genre that you kind of play within, or you just kind of?
I like to think I could probably write anything.
Prolifically insane.
I'd like to think I could probably write anything, but I have a hard time with some stuff. Like, I write crime fiction better than I think I would write anything else. But I like horror a lot, so I try to write horror. It just doesn't come out as well, I don't think, because it's harder.
Yeah.
And I read a lot more crime, mystery, stuff like that, so it's just easy.
So like what you put in is obviously kind of what you put out in a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We've done about almost a split with horror and crime thriller type of things, and so that's about all I play with, because it's like I've tried writing straight comedies, and it's...
Well, yeah, because I was gonna say, like, I've watched like all of it.
Yeah.
I watched everything except for like the behind the scenes videos.
Yeah.
Because I thought I'd kind of get that from talking to you.
Yeah. They're not very... I mean, the behind the scene videos, they're not like super interesting.
Not gonna learn how to make a movie?
No.
From you?
Well, you'll hear us bickering probably and going back and forth with stuff. But
that's probably the best part of it.
And inside jokes that are only going to be funny to us.
Good. That's what I want. I'm gonna watch those next then.
Just sit there in silence.
I don't get that.
Yeah, that's funny to them.
I bet they really liked that moment. But like everything except for like maybe 3 or 4 pieces has kind of like a comedy parody feel to it. Is that like purposeful?
Yeah, it is. I like to think I take the threats in my writing seriously, and the characters are funny.
Okay.
So, like, if you put funny people in serious situations, that hopefully everything's a little lighter, you know. I don't want to write super bleak stuff, because I sit through enough bleak short films that people make, and I want nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
And we like to think we're funny people. When we tried to make the straight comedy, we were just pulling our hair out.
Have you tried that?
Yeah, 8-bit.
Oh yeah, 8-bit's funny.
Yeah, it's we hate it. We hate everything after we do it for the most part, but like we hated that one particularly. And we just vowed never to do a straight comedy.
So talking about 8-bit, I loved the Bellboy video game. Like, who built that?
That was
Nate.
Nate. Yeah, Nate made it. I had a very rough, like, I didn't even think I explained. It was like, it's a bell, it's a bell running and jumping in the script, and then Nate's like, did all the stuff to it. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
I love how like monotonously nothing it is.
Yeah.
That just like,
well, I've played a lot of 8-bit video games that are monotonously nothing. Like, you just do the same thing for over and over. So
yeah, and like nothing's happening, and there's the dinging the whole time. I fucking love it. It's genius.
That's going to work its way into... It's already worked its way into other scripts. It hasn't worked its way into other movies, but that video game is going to be at least in the background of something at some point. We already made it. We might as well use it again.
Yeah. Like once you... like. Whenever we have like a TV on in any of our pieces, we're like, oh, well, it's going to be this thing we've already made.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like you got to do your in-jokes for just yourself, at least on anything you do. You know? And it's like if we have a prop, the props get recycled into other things just for, having the background of things.
Yeah. Because you're like, oh, you see that back there?
Yeah.
That's that thing from that one movie.
That's the meat tenderizer from Blockhead.
Yeah.
It's like...
So you had to make that prop, obviously, right? You don't have a meat tenderizer trophy in your...
Nope, we made that. That's the other thing me and Gina like to do is the prop building. We build a lot of stuff.
She has a lot of experience.
She does.
Doing that kind of stuff. And you're just weird stuff.
I'm handy. I can do whatever you want me to do. So... But
whatever I want you to do, you can do it.
I can probably at least give it a good shot.
That's wonderful.
But
so you don't try for comedy necessarily?
Well, I want everything to be funny. I want there to be moments of levity in everything. I like inconsistent tone in movies.
Okay.
And like, jarring things. And, like, I think, Bag Full of Trouble. It's pretty funny. The whole thing is basically a joke.
That's probably my favorite piece you guys have done.
It creeps up there as our favorite too, I think. It's shot off on a weekend and in the middle. But
it's concise. The script is full. Like there's a whole world that's explained. It all I don't know. It's good. Yeah,
and the whole thing's a joke. The punchline is that there's just two ladies, and that's the whole thing is and that's what a short film is like bum joke.
Yep.
And then you're out, then you're gone, then you should be gone,
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem a lot of short films go. It's like joke, nothing, boom. Then nothing still at the end.
Yeah. There's a lot of short films that are just nothing.
Stretches of.
They don't really go to a point ever. They never build to a point.
Yeah, and like the idea of a short film for us is, it is a lot of times it's just a scene in a bigger movie that we're not doing. You know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we think
That's a good way to think of it.
Yeah, like our short film Get Out. A lot of people complained. It was like, what happened? It's got like a cliffhanger.
Get Out needs like 2 more seconds for me. That was my
that-
only complaint.
That's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to know, well, what happened?
Just like 2 more seconds,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah, and we didn't want to give anybody 2 more seconds, you know?
Okay, so for Get Out, like, in your head, is that, like, do you know where that goes?
I have a good idea. I have a standard joke.
But
If
you were
want-
like...
If you want to hear the joke that I say at the end, the people say, what happens next? And I go, well, that's when the porn starts.
It's a good joke.
Yeah, you know. But
Not like good enough for a laugh, but
No, yeah.
I'll tell you, it's a
You
good
know,
joke.
Yeah, that's all. You know, it's almost as good, I guess. I drive all the way up here, and he doesn't even laugh at my jokes. But yeah, I mean, we will sit there and talk about, well, if we did a sequel to that, what would happen? You know? And
Yeah.
I'm like, then in the end, we're like, nah, who cares?
So why did you choose to end it there? Just as the writer of it,
As
I'm
the
just
writer,
intrigued.
I mean, well, like,
Is that where the story just like ends in your mind? Like that's
Yeah,
all
like,
you needed. That was
I
what it was
think
about.
I like when something ends in a short film. I like it when something ends that leaves people thinking about it, at least.
That makes sense.
And like, I don't like it when movies do that because I've spent 2 hours with this thing. I want an ending, you know. But if I'm spending 5 minutes with it, yeah, you can make me think about it on the way home.
Yeah, especially like with a short film, it's usually shown with a bunch of other short films.
Yeah, and you know, if you're thinking about if mine's shown in the middle and you're still thinking about my movie during the next one, I'm fine with that.
You're winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, and we've been accused of doing like a cliffhanger ending a lot on our things, and you know, it's something we're working on. I
The
guess.
only one that sits out to me is Get Out.
Yeah, I mean,
Get Out and Blockhead.
yeah, Blockhead. We did it. We had a phase, I guess. Well, in Dead Phone, the phone dun 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 at the end might be alive. You know.
Well, yeah, but
whatever.
that was like
Yeah, that's
yeah.
You know.
That phone was great.
Yeah, the ones everybody likes, we've spent so little time and effort on. It's very frustrating. Like, I'm not saying no.
It's like
effort.
the ones that people like are talking about is like Bag Full of Trouble and
Yeah,
like,
we're like,
Dead
oh,
Phone.
we need to do this because we need this done for a reason. Like, oh, we need a Halloween short. Let's do that. Boom.
Yeah.
2 weeks. You know, oh, we're not going to make a deadline of a film festival. Let's make another movie real quick. You know, boom, done. And we'll work. In the meantime, we're working on this thing for 6 months, and we've been living in this forever. And then,
So you made Bag Full of Trouble to get something out because Potboiler wasn't coming out? Is that?
Yeah, we had bad run of weather and scheduling stuff, and it was to get into Doc Sunback, and we weren't going to get it done. So,
So like, what can I do with 3 people?
we wrote it. I wrote it on a Wednesday in like 2 hours maybe, and we shot it we prepped it the Thursday and Friday, shot it Saturday and Sunday. Actually, we shot Saturday, didn't like anything we did on Saturday. So we shot it all again on Sunday, basically, with Gina. Gina was...
Because Gina wasn't there Saturday,
she
right?
didn't feel good Saturday, so we were like, oh, we can get some of it done, you know. But
I mean, she's just in a bag.
yeah.
So
But Gina is like our acting coach. So, like, she's the reason we all come off as well as we do. So we did it all again, and Nate got it done by the next Wednesday because he was moving jobs and his editing computer was at that job, and we needed it done by the Friday. So, boom, done.
That's awesome.
Week-long movie. So,
yeah.
three people in it, 4 people worked on it, you know.
Who
so.
besides the 3 of you?
Nate's sister Haley, she does our makeup and crew, just general, you know, she ran the
Having
camera,
a person.
she ran lights, you know, whatever. She's great for all
Yeah.
everything. Everybody does everything, so, you know.
Yeah, it's one of those things where everybody does everything. In a world where everybody does everything, I always am curious on like what's the thing you want to or like to do. Like what's your I mean, obviously like, your thing is writing.
Yeah.
Would you want to just write, or do you appreciate being in front of the camera as well?
Well,
Or is that a necessity thing?
it started out as a necessity thing. I'm always going to be there, you know.
Yeah.
We're all 3 going to be there, so we might as well be on screen.
Yeah.
And I used to not like it as much. And I'll say I don't like it, especially at like film festivals and stuff. But
Just to add to your mystique.
yeah,
and
you know,
how cute you
well,
are.
that's how you got to do it. You're promoting yourself at all times here.
Yeah.
You know, so but people like me. I don't know why. I get there's a lot of. Gina,
You have an odd charm about you, like in all the pieces. There's just like
well, I write myself the best parts as part of it. And I write myself to do exactly what I can do. I never, if I got to stretch it all, you know, that seems like too much work.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself an actor, but like, you know.
But you can write yourself mediocre, and then like you can play yourself just fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like, I think of myself more as like, you know, there are some actors who are a personality and not particularly an actor. Like, you know, that guy's that guy.
Yeah, and everything he does.
Yeah, and I can do that. You need some guy to be kind of, who's to smoke a lot, throw up in bushes, punch somebody out, shoot somebody, you know, rough and
say a couple quippy lines.
Say some stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Have a mustache, have a beard. Those are my two, you know.
Your two looks.
Yeah, you know, whatever you want. So... but I just, you know...
Look how versatile you are, beard or mustache.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible.
And it tells you a lot about a person. But, you know, I do enjoy it, and I think I am getting better. Bag Full of Trouble, I was probably my most happy with acting-wise. And I would love it not to be the lead in things all the time.
You just want to be more of a bit part.
Yeah, I'd like to be a bit, secondary, something like that. But... And like I've always said, I never wanted to direct, but I just wrote something that I'm kind of like, you know, maybe I do. Maybe I do. I don't know. But yeah, I would just like to write and be in it somewhat. I like producing. I like getting everything together and stuff. But, you know.
But like the actual crewing of it isn't really your thing.
Oh, well, I mean, I do it.
You have to do it.
Yeah, I do
but
it.
Like,
and, I mean,
if you could hire a guy to do it,
yeah, it's not like I have a deep love of holding a boom mic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But... I'm certainly going to do it to get the movie done.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, I do a lot of craft services, get people drinks, stuff like that a lot.
Yeah.
You know, Nate sets up all the lights, everybody does things. I hold the mic sometimes, but, you know, I also hang out back and just kind of watch. Just kind of, you know.
Make sure nothing gets lit on fire.
Yeah, you know, just chill.
Yeah.
Try to do as little as possible. But... you know, but I mean, yeah, in a perfect world, I would just write some stuff down, and then I got to be on set to rewrite as we go, basically. But it's hard to rewrite as you go
when you're
acting in it, and
yeah.
You know, like I don't know my lines. You know, like Gina will feed me my line, and I'll just say it. You know,
yeah.
Like I do cue card acting basically with somebody, but. I would like to be more prepared in that function too, but you know, you got everything else to do.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest things that I think I've struggled with is that like I put myself in everything because I'm an attention whore.
Well, yeah.
I love being in it, but having to spend all that time prepping, like I mean, like all right, do we have the location locked down? Do we have all the actors? Do we have all the crew? Is everything ready? Are we gonna be able to get this many things shot in this time? What's the shot list? Like all of that work, and then I get on set. I'm like, oh shit, I had lines.
I knew it.
That's what I'm forgetting.
And I know I kind of like, well, I wrote it. I got a general idea what I say here. Like, so that's fine, whatever. You know, and it's just, but it's like, you think about, because I do a lot of the props. So I handle props and set deck, like the functional stuff. So I'm making lists of everything we got. Do we got that? Do we got that? We got bag. Do I have everything in bags? Do we have everything, you know? And then, I don't remember. Oh, I don't even, you know.
Yeah.
What are the lines? Who's saying what? What's this movie about?
Yeah, and I like to pretend like, I wrote it. Like, I'll know what I'm supposed to say.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it'll be fine.
I wrote it 6 months ago. I don't remember everything I did.
Yeah, and like, but the problem with that, I find sometimes, is that like, even though I wrote it, and like the gist is there sometimes, what I wrote is better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'd memorized it, those are better words. They were picked for a reason.
I spent time on those words.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I spent time picking each of those words.
Yeah.
And the words I said they're fine. The idea's there.
I got what I needed out, but it was not
Yeah.
the
Yeah, no one's going to be like, that script.
Yes. And like, no one's ever said it to me, but I think I heard somebody at a film festival criticize something not quite making sense. And I'm like, goddamn, made sense in the script.
Yeah. We did a spotting session today with our composer for our newest feature, Zoink. And there's a bit that like becomes important probably 3/4 of the way in. They start repeating this important like phrase. And he's like, where did that come in? We're like, oh, it's vaguely mentioned in the first 10 minutes. I promise. Like, he was like, but it became so specific here. And I was like, well, yeah, but
it's back there.
It's back there. I promise. It was kind of forwarded.
You'll get it on the second time you watch it.
Yeah. I was like, well, so Zoink is it's a bunch of kids. It's a kids movie.
Yeah.
And so it's starring children.
Wow.
Children don't know their lines.
No.
Ever.
I wouldn't imagine.
Ever. And so like lines would get cut or shortened based on how much they could remember for a take.
Yeah.
And then like there are bits in the movie that I was like, oh, that doesn't make sense anymore. That got cut. Oh, we've got to cut that line now somehow. Like
that would be terrible. Like a kids movie would be terrible. I mean, it would be fun. Like
yeah.
I would love to make like a Goonies movie. You know what I mean? Like
that's very much how this movie is. It's very Goonies-esque.
It's one of my favorite movies, and I've often had this idea of making a Goonies for, we're getting too old, but like a Goonies for 20-year-olds, but like it never panned it out, but
you should do it.
We'll see.
I
think at this point now it needs to be Goonies at 40 or 50. You know what I mean? Like so
it's like a bunch of
nobody's moving quite as fast as they need to be, and
I'd watch that movie.
Yeah, I mean, could be something.
So when did you started writing from forever ago?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Did you have any training of any sorts, or is this all just?
No, I mean, I think I took did I even have no, I've never taken any classes for it. I went to college briefly for creative writing, but I didn't stay long enough to get to those classes.
Same. So, yeah. I went to college for English and took like the first 2 English classes, which had no writing, and then dropped out of college.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot about creative writing.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned everything I learned by reading, which, if you write, you got to read, because otherwise you don't know where to steal all the ideas, So, yeah, you pick it up as you go. I've read books my whole life. I read several books a week usually.
Do you really?
Yeah. It sounds more impressive. I read like pulp fiction and stuff from the 50s. They're like 120 pages.
Like I'm a slow reader.
Yeah.
Like I've been working on the same 150-page book for the past 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So
I'm a fast reader. I'm done, boom, and out, But the last book I read had 300 pages, so.
Look at you.
Yeah,
Good for
yeah. Still a pulp book from the 20s, but
Is that kind of a genre you enjoy then?
Yeah, mystery, private eye, tough guy stuff.
I think that definitely reflects in your writing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I played at doing it for real life when I went to school for mostly to be a cop, and I had some reserve police officer experiences, but I found I like writing about it much more. It's much more exciting,
than being a cop.
Yeah. That's boring. I can imagine all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Put it down. So
a lot less dangerous too.
Yeah.
Pretending to be
pretending
a cop.
is a lot less dangerous.
Yeah. I like playing pretend more than doing real things. Yeah.
It's much better. So, but that was definitely, I mean. So it all started like 5th grade. Me and Nate had been best friends since about 5th grade. Before that, I didn't like him very much.
Okay.
And 5th grade, we had a mutual love of Star Trek and James Bond. And, we just watched Star Trek and James Bond. And, we were into Star Trek for Halloween, and we had...
You went as the Star Trek for Halloween?
Yeah, I was space, and then I walked around. But we weren't anybody. We were in Starfleet. That was our costume.
That was about it.
Yeah, I mean, we had...
You didn't want to be specific about it. You were like, I am in Starfleet.
I am,
Yeah.
And
This isn't even a costume. This is real life.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty good costumes. So, but then we had a writing assignment where we wrote James Bond spoofs,
Okay.
and then they didn't like mine; they liked Nate's, so we put Nate's on as a play. And
Why isn't Nate writing your guys' stuff? Jeez.
you should see his writing now? Never got past the. No,
It's still just James Bond spoof.
But so I did write the script for the play that we put on based on it. So,
Nice.
So it all starts there, and that was kind of the thing. And then in high school,
A James Bond play, just in my head, doesn't seem like it would be a good idea.
it was. I mean, it.
I'm
Probably,
not gonna like. I'm not. But
don't know.
I personally
With
never
no-
seen an action adventure play.
with no costumes and no props and no sets. It was fantastic.
That sounds amazing. I wish I would have been there.
Yeah. And so then in high school, we had like media classes and like a filmmaking class, basically, that we made stuff. We sat around and talked about making stuff more than anything, but we made a mockumentary series about making a high school news show. And it was kind of like The Office, but this was also kind of before The Office. So, not saying anybody still...
But before the British Office, though?
No, probably not. But, I'm just saying,
The Office stole your idea.
Yeah. I'm not... Well, legally, no. But... so we did that, and we did, like, a series of... We did, like, 3 shorts there that were all, like, crime things and stuff like that. And terrible stuff.
Yeah.
Like
That's like my nightmare is someone finding the one DVD that exists of the things I made in high school.
We have 2. We have 2
Oh,
DVDs,
God.
So... But
It's twice as likely for you then.
yeah. And then Nate went to college and did movies and stuff there. I didn't go to that college, but I went there and we made stuff.
Yeah.
Made a sketch comedy show, filmed sketch comedy show. And
So you've really always been into like cop dramas and comedy. Like that's been like your
pretty much.
your
And
thing since the beginning.
the best thing in that sketch comedy show, the one I think is the best, is called McSwiggin, where it's just me as kind of a jackass cop punching people the whole time, like repeatedly, like, for a good 2 minutes of me just punching this guy and driving fast and doing all that stuff. But like, and then
was it the best because it was actually good, or did you just enjoy being
it
McSwiggin?
was one of the better ones. We had a whole series and we kept cutting back to it, and it was pretty funny. Some of the other ones, but
Yeah.
and then we did another written. I wrote a whole. We wrote a whole. I did a whole like 10, 11-minute series called The Water Cooler Detectives, which we were basically the Hardy Boys for people's romantic lives in college.
Oh, nice.
And I wrote, like I said, I think it was like 12 episodes or something like that. And we, they're like 11 minutes. We shot them all in one day. Didn't care about lighting. Didn't care about anything. People fed people lines, whatever.
Yeah.
And then we didn't do anything after that. We made one more short film, and then we didn't do anything. And
For how long? How long did you just not do anything?
4 or 5 years, probably somewhere around there. And we always talked about it, but
But so you and Nate were still friends?
Oh yeah, the whole time.
Just
then we started living together,
chatting about making movies, but not doing it.
Yeah, and at the time, I mean, we started accumulating gear and stuff. We were kind of amping up for it, and we still hadn't done it. And then I met Gina, and we made Spooktical just because we saw some cool effect online about how to hold a mirror or hold a piece of glass and make somebody look like they're a ghost.
Nice.
So that was all practical.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And that was the first thing we did, which looking back, like, let's just do this horrible practical effect for the first short film we've made in 10 years. But
it's an impressive effect.
I do like that. And then Gina came along and we started making stuff,
So where does America's Front Porch come from? I realized I didn't ask Gina that. So
it is the name of the house that Nate lives at now. That it was self-named.
You call the house America's Front Porch?
Yeah, his friend Anthony came up with the name, I think, and I live there and when we started making it, so it was America's Front Porch, Film Go, and AFP. I like AFP a lot. It looks good,
It's a
at
good
the
little
front
logo.
at the front of a movie. It kind of sounds like the old AIP and some of the old film studios.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
So Spook School was the first one.
Yep.
Just based around the idea.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this effect.
Yeah, and we were itching. We had all the gear. We were ready, and it was like Nate saw it on a Monday or something, and I'm like, I'll do it. We'll just do it. We'll do it this weekend. If we don't do it this weekend, we never will. So we did.
Is that how a lot of your ideas are then? It
seems like it. Well, it seems
an
like
idea happens. You're like, well, we're going to do it this week or it'll never happen.
Yeah, maybe that's we get hot on things and then we gotta do them. It does seem like a recurring theme, huh?
I thought I saw a Facebook post about Potboiler being made because you wanted to do a fight scene.
Yeah,
right.
Pretty much.
So
that's part of why we make things.
So is that also like another thing that drives the pieces?
We always think like in the beginning we were like, well, the whole goal was to make a feature, and like if we make a feature, we kind of want everything we want to do in a movie, in one movie, So it's like we have no idea how to do all these. Okay, so we need to know how to do a fight scene. Okay, I'll write a script around a big fight. We need to know how to, we wanted to do a long one take. So I wrote Get Out to be that movie. And
is Get Out one take?
Not completely, but there's a good chunk of the middle is all one take.
I don't think I even noticed it. It's well done though.
So, and I mean, that is a lot of, we want to work on this particular area of filmmaking. So I'll kind of write something tailored to work on it. And like the things
the videos are kind of your film school.
Yeah.
Gearing towards a feature someday.
We make it so we know how to do it.
That's cool.
Like we're gearing this year to work with more actors and do more dialogue scenes and do, prepare different locations and shoot, kind of broaden our horizons, because we think our movies are kind of shortly focused on what, we have and was available to us. So we kind of want to, expand. So, but yeah, we kind of just build everything around one thing, basically. All the ones we have before. I can't think of one that we didn't do that with. So yeah.
That's interesting. That's smart though. It feels like a really smart way to.
It's one of the things I tell people, who if somebody hasn't made anything, I'm like, well, find something you want to do. Yeah. And just kind of go with that. And it doesn't, because that way, even if your product is bad, at the end, you're like, oh, I learned.
You probably learned a thing.
Or I learned what not to do. I can do it better next time.
Yeah.
So, and yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. I've been doing this wrong the whole fucking time. Jesus. Should have been doing it your way. So you've been doing shorts this whole time purposefully for gearing up towards a feature. Mm-hmm. Is that feature written? Is there an idea of what you guys want to do? Or
I have things in the pipeline that we love that we're we kind of always just I write it as a short. Yeah. And then we're like, this is too big. This is too this needs to be more. This should probably be a feature or a web series or something.
So you're sitting on a couple.
Yeah. We were planning to make this one movie this year, and we all read the script and we're all kind of we like it. We don't like it in its present form. It needs to have more stuff, Yeah. So we think, we'll keep that in our back pocket. So we have two big ideas that, one of these days, and they're nuts. They're nuts ideas to make for an independent movie. That's also part of our problem, because we like to try to make fairly commercial type films, for no money and no time and, nothing.
Just in 1 week.
Yeah.
In
a couple of days. Who needs a week to make a movie? But, yeah. So, I think we get a lot of kind of flack for what we kind of make. I don't know if it's just us interpreting, people kind of looking down on us for not making, dramas or, heavy artistic.
So you get flack because they've got a joke to it? Or
yeah, they're fun, or, Potboiler is a 60s spy movie, that I just wanted to do. because we love 60 spy movies. And then it's like, but it's like we'll be in a festival and it'll run with some, heavy dramas that, examine the human condition,
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, yours was fun, and then like congratulating the other people. Thanks.
Like, great job. And yours was cute.
Yeah, yours was good. I'm like, ours was like 100 times harder to make.
Yeah.
We fist fought. There was guns. They were shooting. Come on. I choked somebody out. And then you just throw up your hands and then okay, whatever.
Yeah, I feel that too sometimes. That like we at IX don't get a lot of attention towards us because we're like the weird kids that like make comedies.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. Everybody assumes comedies are very easy.
Yeah,
but they're the hardest.
Yeah, it's so much harder to tell a joke.
Oh yeah, and everybody has to be perfect to make a comedy work. Like comic timing, everything. There's so much harder to make.
And there's the timing of the script, the timing of the performance, and there's timing of editing, and all that has to come together perfectly.
Yeah.
To make a joke work.
Exactly. And it's so many more steps than somebody looking sad for 30 seconds. What I mean? Like,
I've seen so many films that are just like two people sitting in a room like, it's so sad that like this bad thing happened to me. Like, yeah, it is sad.
Somebody stole my mail. And then they just talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. They just talk about it for 10 minutes and people are like, great job. Great art.
Yeah. And I mean, you sit through ones where it's like, it's like, I don't even know how you thought that was a good idea. It boggles my mind that, you'd have a big close up of somebody just staring forever.
Yeah.
But,
it's high art though.
Yeah. I'm the opposite of a art snob. Like I like
crappy movies.
I like crappy movies. I like rough things like, exploitation pictures. I like, I like 40s B movies. I like all these things that are kind of crudely made.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if I consider them more honest in their portrayal of things or whatever, or it's like at least honest in their intention.
Yeah.
We're going to make this exploitation movie where a guy goes around and shoots all the bad guys. There's going to be tits.
It's like Roger Corman is like right
Corman's
up here.
one of my favorite. I'll watch Death Race 2000, 5 times over watching anything that's won an Oscar in the last couple of years, But I mean, it's something I should probably work on and watch better movies, but
Like me and Lola are the same way. We're always like, oh, we should watch those movies that like won the Oscars or like are nominated.
Yeah.
I'm like, but I'd really like to watch Riddick.
Yeah.
Like, I really just want to see Vin Diesel punch people.
I haven't seen a good Vin Diesel movie in a minute. Pop Triple X in.
Yeah.
But I get it. I mean, because I watch things for enjoyment, and I watch things when I'm writing stuff to keep myself in a mind frame, and just like even if I'm writing a crime movie, I watch crime movies. If I'm writing a
for inspiration.
movie,
like
inspiration,
that?
and to avoid things like if I see a lot of these things, I'm like, oh well, I can't do that because they did that in that movie, and then that's something that we try really hard not to do anything that I've seen before. And luckily, I've seen a shitload of movies, so it hasn't come up too much.
It keeps you out of copying.
Yeah. Then that's one of our big things. We don't want to copy, and we are weird about like, has any movie ever had that title? I don't care if it's a short film that somebody else made, in 1999. We can't call it that, Then we make Get Out, and then
And then 2 years later,
look who fantastic comedian
Jordan
and director, makes his own movie, and it's like
it's great.
It's great stealing our movie titles. I'm shaking my fist at the air.
Yeah, but, they can't see that on the podcast.
Yeah, I talk with my hands. It's fine. But like, and then everybody everybody will be talking about Get Out, and my first thought is, our movie? Oh no, nobody's seen that.
I feel like you guys get a pretty good like watch count. Honestly,
I think we do decent. I mean, we always
for like indie filmmakers in a smallish scene.
Yeah, I mean, I the goal is, I have a weird thing where obviously I wanted people to watch it, but we were very intent on getting views early in our career, and I eventually got tired of that. I mean, obviously we want people to see it and all that stuff, but like you can only share stuff so many times. You can only make I don't know that many people. So it's like,
I can only make my dad watch it so many times.
Yeah, exactly. And you put it on at a party or whatever, and it's like, well, that's only one more view. There's like 10 people in this room. Call YouTube up, and there was more people here.
Yeah, there were 10 people here. You should up the view count. I've had that thought. I've been like, well, I don't want to show it like to a room full of people.
We'll go home and individually watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'd rather have the 10 views. And like me and Lolo like argue every time we put out a new short, because we're like, all right, do we post it just to YouTube? Do we post it to YouTube and Facebook? Because like it'll get more views on Facebook.
Yeah.
Because like auto plays, but like I'd rather have all the views,
the real views,
in one place. Yeah, the real the views that fucking matter, the YouTube views,
the ones that people went and strove to get to.
Yeah. So like every time we put one out, where it's a fight, like. Yeah. Where do we put it? Where do we put the video?
I watched your last one on Facebook. So
see,
sorry.
God damn it!
It was great. I loved it. But I'll go rewatch it on YouTube.
Thank you.
I'll make everybody in the room do it.
Good. Yeah, I need those three. I need those 3 views. Because now I'm like, oh well, it's got 250 views on Facebook, but it's got 30 views on YouTube.
That's the one people pay attention to.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the views that matter.
And everybody thumb up. Everybody like it.
Yeah. I have like 2 family members that like every video I put out. And I know it's them every time. Like, yeah, thank you guys.
Nate's mom is the first person to like anything we do on Facebook. Like, as soon as it gets posted.
Yeah, that's Lolo's mom and her sister. And I'm like, yes, you are the best.
Always count on some.
Yep. That's all I need is those couple of.
And like, that's why we like going to film festivals and meeting all these new filmmakers and stuff. It's like, well, we'll guilt them into liking our stuff because we'll like their stuff. It's going to be a fair trade. But like, we're going to, you guys got to watch this too. You're going to like this. Share it.
Yeah. I mean, I gave you a view to every video you've made today. Yeah. I watched them all.
Yeah, see?
That's the benefit of making filmmaker friends. But again, though, at that festival, like, there were 50 people in that room.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Count them.
God damn it. Count them, YouTube.
Yeah.
When they showed at the festival, that one doesn't even count as a view because that's a screener. That's a digital copy.
Yeah, it's nothing.
God damn it.
Nothing.
Damn it, YouTube.
Controlling our entire lives.
I put way too much importance on YouTube, though. I'll admit.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard not to. It's hard to not, 'cause you make a movie. What do people do with movies? They watch them. The biggest goal is to get people to watch them. The amount of effort it takes to get somebody to watch a 3-minute short is amazing. It's like
outstanding.
Sometimes it's not even 3. We did 15-second horror shorts. Like it was a contest.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's 15 seconds. Like it won't. Watch 2 of them. It's not even a minute. You watch them all. It's not about a minute. It's half a minute. But no. I'm too busy.
Yeah.
I got stuff going on.
I'll talk to friends and like I'll mention like my shorts even. I'll be like, oh, did you see like things that go bump? People are like, oh no, I haven't seen that one yet. I was like, well, you should watch it. You go watch it. And like, I made it. It's only a couple minutes. Here's my phone.
I'm your friend.
Yeah. We're speaking.
We're friends.
Yeah. And that's another thing that like, cause like Facebook likes like my page. If I go to like my page, the IX page right now, it says that like I have 1,000 likes and 400 of my friends like it. Mm-hmm. Well, I have 1,500 friends on Facebook.
Where's the rest of them?
Where are the rest of you? Like, what the fuck, guys?
Show up, guys.
Yeah.
I'm your friend.
It takes no work. Just click like.
Well, that's why all my friends, like, I like so many hairdressers and people who do roofing and weird stuff. Like, I liked your page.
Yes.
This is my page. You like it too.
I will reciprocate any like. Yeah. I'll like anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, they liked my thing? They can invite me to like 6 things. I don't care. Yeah. I got their one. That's all I need.
Yeah. That's the only thing that matters to me.
Yeah.
I can unfollow all the shit that you post. I don't have to look at any.
I don't even care if they unfollow it. Like, just go like my Facebook page, then unfollow me.
Because so much of it is wrapped up into how many people like your stuff, and it's it's. I hit the table.
Yeah, that was an earthquake created by Roy.
Yep.
Yep.
Strong, muscular legs.
Yeah,
But
the whole industry is wrapped up in how many views you get,
Mm-hmm.
how many people follow you, how many people care about what you're doing.
Yeah.
And like even festivals want to show you based on if they know you and if they've heard of you and if you can bring an audience.
Yeah. And it's fair and unfair all at the same time.
Yeah.
I get why they do it, but
Yeah.
like
It's a
you know,
business.
it's a business. They're there to make money to keep the festival going,
Yeah.
So it's fine, but sometimes the things that you see and it's just like, oh, these same people are making the same movies that, and they're getting shown at the festivals. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not bitter about it at all. So
That's why you say it.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
Not bitter people always say how not bitter they are.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm on fire. But yeah, I mean, it's amazing how much work. If people knew how much work it took, I would like to think they would go the like extra little bit to do something
To watch
for
your
me,
video
to
for like
watch it.
2 minutes.
Even it's not that hard.
Yeah.
But no.
My mom is the hardest person to get to watch a video. Like I know it too. Like
Yeah.
I can put out any of my videos and like I just know. My dad will watch it.
Yeah.
My mom won't. It's just not gonna happen.
Some battles you can't win.
Yep.
So
I gave up on her like 2 movies in. Like we premiered our like second feature film. Like it's a feature film. I'm the lead of that one. She couldn't make it. And I was like, all right, Mom, you're not gonna see any of them. It's fine.
it's fine. I'll remember this when I'm rich and famous.
I'll probably still give you way too much money.
But I won't give you quite as much as I give Dad.
Yeah, definitely like Dad more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's fun. It's all fun.
it is. I mean, it's the most fun and the worst experience ever to make a movie.
Yes.
And that's one thing that, like, when you get somebody who's never made a movie and you get them in for the first time, like, we work with a lot of people, theater actors who've never done stage work, or just guys we know, like, one of our favorite actors and favorite people on the planet is a guy named Bill Loop. And Bill Loop's in a bunch of our stuff. And he's just a guy we knew. And Bill Loop is a very charismatic guy, and he's like, I never acted or done anything like that. But you'll be fine. Comes in, nails the first thing he does. We keep using him and everything. Everybody loves Bill Loop. And, but like, you have to sit down and tell him, it's like, okay, there's going to be a lot of times where this is just boring.
Yeah.
Like, you're just going to be sitting around.
I think people underestimate how boring it can be.
It sounds glamorous.
Yeah.
I'm off making a movie. It's going to be fantastic.
Especially for actors, like just actors. Like for us, it's like a pain in the ass because you're doing everything. You have to think about everything. And there's probably 6 things you're forgetting about.
Yeah.
But like for an actor, there's going to be times where I'm running around like a fucking crazy person. And I just need you to sit there and not care.
Yeah.
Like,
or
just
sit there and be quiet because we're shooting in the downstairs or something and you're clomping your feet.
Yeah.
Like, just sit.
Yeah, it's not your coverage right now.
Yeah.
I do need you on set because I'm going to use you at the beginning of the day. I'm going to use you at the end of the day. But just fucking for 5 minutes, just stay here patiently. Be polite. Don't be angry to be here.
Read your phone. Read a book. Just chill.
Just do whatever you want.
Eat the food. Drink the water. Whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
Just be okay with this.
Yeah.
And actors, I mean, we haven't worked with too many like actors straight up, because they're all kind of our friends. And even the ones who are theater actors are just our friends who we rope into, acting, and they don't know what to expect. So they're just rolling with the punches, so, but,
I think your mic just cut out.
oh no.
Yeah. Talk again. You're back.
Okay, I'm back.
You're back.
And we're back.
Good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like, so even the theater actors, and I'm like, you guys rehearse all the time. Like, you guys sit around and don't do anything. Just sit around and don't do anything here.
Yeah, just do it in a place that I've told you to be at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But be there.
I really need you there.
For my sanity, be there.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit early even. Just be there a little early. And if we go a little bit long,
Don't make a big deal.
don't make a big deal out of it. Yeah. Okay, so that's a funny thing, and this is like a weird question probably, that I'm just curious about. Who makes your call sheets for between the 4 of you? Like who sends all that shit out?
Nate handles a lot
does
of
that.
lot of this stuff. And like, it's not it's not organized enough to be called a call sheet. It's a show up here at this time, and we'll tell you what we're doing then. Which works because, like I said, like I think if we work with people we didn't know, we'd probably do be more professional. But like, just hey, Bill Loop, come over here, be here at noon. All right.
Yeah.
We probably, Lyle, we won't need you until like 1. So.
Yeah.
But we're not. Organization is something we're working on.
Well, good for you guys then. At least you're working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I'm curious mostly because, so me and Lolo send out very detailed call sheets, and I think I'm hitting a point where I think we're too detailed.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because we will have a start time and we'll have an estimated end time.
Mm-hmm.
And we've hit a point where sometimes, often, always, we go a little bit over schedule because it usually takes a little bit longer.
It's always going to take a little bit longer for something.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's way easier to spend an extra 20 minutes here now than it is to get everyone back here at the same time, have the location be okay with it, have all the settings
get back into your costumes,
fucking perfect about it. Yeah, exactly.
Make sure your hair looks the same, make sure everything looks the same.
Yeah, it's way easier to do it then and take an extra half hour then than to do this again. And then at that point, it'd probably take us 2 to 4 hours the next time.
Just say everything's not going to end until noon the next day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
so that's the things that I should start doing.
Early every time. They're great to work with.
Yeah. And so people are like, oh, well, we're always ending late. And I'm like, well, yeah, but it's an estimate.
It's on the paper. It's estimated.
It says estimated end time. And you'd rather us go over now than have a shitty film, right?
This is representative of you as well.
Yeah.
You're in this.
Yeah. They're going to see you.
I can fade into the background.
Exactly. Oh, man. Did you see, this is a weird thing. You mentioned a thing that made me think of this, but did you see The Disaster Artist?
Not yet. I would really like to.
So there's one line in it that you pretty much already said. You just summarized yourself. They're like sitting around on set, all talking about how terrible it is. And they're like, why do we do this? And like the old lady is like, well, it's because the worst day on set is still better than the best day anywhere else.
Yeah.
And like I agree with that. Like set can be terrible, but like I'd always rather be there.
Well, it's one of those making movies is, it's infectious almost to the right people.
It's addicting.
It's like this is all, I remember some film festival we were at, the basic question came up as like, well, why do you do this? Because, somebody in the audience was probably kind of being snarky because it's like, this seems like a lot of work to do.
This seems like a lot of work and you're not getting anything from it.
And I'm like, well, there's nothing else I'm going to do. This is what we are. This is what we're going to do. We're going to make movies.
Yeah.
And like, it's like a group of filmmakers standing on this stage and we're all like, yeah, that's why we do it. Like, I don't know what else we would be doing.
There's no other fucking option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I've ever really wanted to do.
Yep.
Thanks. But,
yeah.
It's like, I mean, Raiders of the Lost Ark is my favorite movie. And my entire life until middle school, I wanted to be an archaeologist. Found out being an archaeologist wasn't like being like Indiana Jones. So, had to rethink all that. And then, in high school, I probably saw Clerks and Evil Dead. And I was like, anybody can make a movie. That's interesting. Kevin Smith is just shooting a movie at a gas station.
He's just some dude that shot a movie in a gas station. Yeah.
I could do that. And that's how that's like the light bulb moment where it's like, okay, well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make movies. So, then I spent many, many years just watching movies and watching DVD commentaries and watching and reading books about it and reading other books and, mass influx of information. And it's all coming out.
So like everything you've learned is from self-taught reading.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Everything Nate had some film type classes, but he learns from YouTube tutorials, and I learned from, listen to a writer's talk on a DVD commentary or a book about it, or, and Gina learned from many years,
She has
acting
some knowledge.
classes. Yeah,
Yeah.
she covered that stuff.
She's got some real knowledge.
Yeah, she's the only capable person in the group. But yeah, so and then it's just I think the reason we work best as a unit is we kind of all handle 3 different things.
Yeah.
And as a 3-member team, we can perform the task of
You can pretty much do it all together.
yeah, we can perform the task of like one really genius person. So
Yeah.
and but yeah, it took a lot of years of I don't want to say hard work because I like watching movies, but
Yeah.
I think people should watch more movies who make movies. Seems like some people don't watch movies, or sometimes I'm like, you even like movies that you're making these movies, like, and the things you say about them, like I was like, okay, whatever, but and watching a wide variety of things and eras and watching all understanding everything, different schools of filmmaking, and you got to go through your watching a bunch of arty French movies, and you got to watch your Kurosawa movies, and you got to you got to go through the whole thing.
You've got to learn it all.
Yeah.
And realize that most of it you don't like and it's not going to influence you.
Yeah.
But like some of it will.
Some of it will, and like it'll seep in without you knowing it.
Yeah.
And it'll just be in your brain, and it'll be, oh, what? I wrote one of the scripts I just wrote. Gina was like, I saw a lot of this in there, and I'm like, oh man, I didn't
even think about that.
It never even occurred to me,
Yeah.
And it's just what happens, But and not getting hung up on watching just great movies though too.
Yeah.
You got to watch. Some of my favorite movies are the Mummy movies. From
the Brendan Fraser ones?
The Brendan Fraser Mummy movie.
Fuck yeah.
I have seen the first Mummy movie a lot.
I have shown the first Mummy movie to 3 people this, I guess, last year, 2017. I watched it with 3 different people, I'm pretty sure.
It's a great movie.
I love it.
It's a great fun movie. Perfect summer popcorn flick.
Definitely.
And it's just one of those things. It's like people are going to look down on the Brendan Fraser Mummy movie, but I will always hold it in high esteem. Because, I have watched it, and, it's part of childhood nostalgia.
Yeah.
I also like The Shadow and The Phantom and, all those, The Rocketeer, all those movies from my childhood that,
And yeah, nostalgia will always, lend its little
it will
hand to that.
It will.
Yeah.
But those are the kinds of fun movies that, we strive to make.
To make also.
Yeah. We're definitely of that type of camp.
Same.
Yeah, exactly.
We want to make movies somebody enjoys.
Exactly.
I would much rather be enjoyed than people be like, well, I feel terrible, but it was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Beautiful. But I don't feel good after watching it.
I'll never watch that again.
I never need to see it again. But I'm glad I watched it once.
I know I've seen tons of movies that I'm like, well, that was a huge bummer. I liked it. I'm never going to watch it again.
Yeah.
I can't emotionally take watching this movie again.
Yep.
So, yeah, but yeah, we're definitely fun. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Cool. Let's do the third one. All right, go have some fun right now and watch America's Front Porch on YouTube today. And if you like having fun and enjoy the videos, make sure you hit subscribe on YouTube. And for updates, you can follow them on Facebook and Twitter. Also, make sure you're following IX and hit subscribe on YouTube. Follow this podcast. Like us on Facebook. It's just a simple click. It makes all of us really, really happy. Just click the button. It doesn't do you any harm. All right, well, that's the episode. Make sure you listen to the next one to hear me and Nate Jones.